you. Thanks so much for having me on.
How's everything going, man?
Everything is going great. I'm really excited to kind of get things going again in business. I started my businesses back in 1999, but I took a little bit of a break because of the pandemic, shut things down in 2021, and then just decided to restart things in 2024. And now we're in 2026, and we're kind of moving full steam ahead.
Yeah, man. I see you back with the Boxing Ontario Hall of Fame. That's been a good thing that you've been running. How is that? Did you like pick a panel to pick the guys out? Like how does that process start?
With the Ontario Boxing Hall of Fame, so for a little history on people that don't know about it, it was started in 2000 from some of the members from the Canadian Boxing Hall of Fame, Rob Zuck, Joe Fallis, Rob Bell, Darrell Wambault, and I did advertising for them in my magazine for a couple of years, and then they were disbanding and asked me if I wanted to take it over. And it had a little bit of outstanding debt, and I was very interested. They ran it extremely well. I was like, yeah, absolutely. So I took over in 2002, 2 years after. And since that, just been building it. And I think initially they had more of an Olympic focus, but I broadened it to kind of include amateurs and professionals.
Okay.
And when it comes to selecting people, we do a lot of research, a lot of research. Everybody that's been helping me out is doing it on their own time, and we just go through an extensive back and forth process of trying to decide when and where to place people. And I've drawn on the expertise of a lot of people that have been in the game even longer than me, and yeah, so we look at all the names, we look at the backgrounds, we try and do our due diligence in kind of confirming records, confirming accomplishments, and then when we decide on people, we reach out to them and then ask them as well. Do they have? Is there anything there that we're missing that we got incorrect? And it goes from there. So it's a pretty involved process, and I think that we've gotten the names right so far. And of course, there's a lot of people that we don't know about because sometimes some of these legends they're not known about. They're known in
Right.
their kind of local area or their gyms. So we're always waiting to get information. And it's just kind of constant research, basically.
Yeah, that's got to be tough, and like you said, it's a lot of people taking time out of their days, so it's not easy, man. It's not easy. But for
It's
you,
not easy.
the magazine, man, like when did that come to the forefront? Because I mean, we only knew of Ring magazine. Well, I only knew of Ring magazine before you.
Well, we're back, and the latest issue of Below the Belt Boxing magazine actually came out about 2 weeks ago. I started the magazine in 1999. I had the idea in 1998. I was training at Sully's boxing gym down at Dufferin and King,
Yeah.
and I I used to see these old magazines around. It was called Punch. It was a Canadian magazine before, and I was like, "Oh man, this is amazing." But the copies that I saw were older copies, and so I contacted the owner and I was like, "Hey man, I'll write for you. I'll do whatever you need me to do so you can keep this thing going." And the owner of the magazine, he was really nice. He was like, he goes, "My wife was really patient with me for a lot of years, allowing me to do this. She came with me to the shows, and now it's her turn. I think she was doing a jewelry business, and he goes, I've been
Okay.
working with her on that, so I don't plan on reviving the magazine." And I was like, "Do you know if there's any other magazines out there?" And he was like, "I'm not aware. I'm not in the game anymore." And so 1998, I thought, "Oh, you know what? I'm going to do a magazine myself." I didn't know anything about magazines at the time. And I remember Vince Bagnato used to visit the gym, and Vince Bagnato sat down with me, and he was like, "Oh, he goes, I do a lot of things in boxing," and I was like, "Oh yeah, I want to start a boxing magazine." And then he reached into his wallet and gave me $100, and it was
Okay.
the first time I had gotten money like just from somebody that I didn't even know, because I didn't know who Vince Bagnato was at that time. And then anytime I saw him, I just reminded him, yeah, I'm going to be starting this magazine. And in 1999, I did. And he invited me out to the Shaw Festival, which I didn't know that he had taken part in creating.
Right. Right.
And
Yep.
yeah, so I was able to take some photos. Pete Doherty was there with me, and that was the night, April 19th, I believe, where Fitz Vanderpool won the World Boxing Federation world title. And Fitz brought me in the ring, and it was just a great night. And that ended up being the cover of the very, very first issue of my magazine.
Okay. Fitz Vanderpool, obviously a local legend here as well. We know him.
Oh yeah,
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 man.
absolutely, absolutely.
That must have been a big shock to you because, like, I can't even picture doing magazine work. Like, that's a lot of groundwork you would have had to do.
It was a lot of groundwork, but it's always been a business of passion. And I think a lot of things, if they're going to be successful, kind of start that way, because you're probably not going to make money right off the bat doing business, and you have to have the fortitude and the perseverance to kind of keep going. So it was a lot of work, but I was already in the gym. I was already passionate about the topic, and a lot of the things I was researching, I wanted to know for myself as well.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, yeah, exactly. Right. You're already in the sport. So why not, man? Get the front row seat, get the perks of it all.
Well, the funny
um,
thing about that is, as media, um, you know, media usually gets into places for free. But, when I started my magazine, I was still paying to go to shows. They were still charging me ticket prices at the doors.
yeah. Yeah. I feel like that's always been a downfall to our sport here in our, at least in our community. I always felt like the media needs to be more accepted. Like you want your story, you want your show out there. Like you want to kind of pamper the media. Like tell them, hey, I got some free seats, I got some sandwiches, some
Exactly.
drinks. You want to get them out.
Exactly.
So I never understood that, but I guess everybody got a reason why they run their business the way they run it. I'm not gonna tell nobody how to do that. But yeah, man, the
Yeah,
media, it's tough being media sometimes. So
absolutely.
so
Absolutely. It's a grind.
So who was the first one that you'd say kind of like helped you get to the next level in your like your magazine? Like was there a fighter or a person that helped you like really push it?
Um, yeah, like as far as helping in the business aspect and keeping me going, um, there's a fighter named Donald Wombo. I used to actually sponsor him when he was fighting as an amateur,
Hmm.
and then throughout the years, he just assisted me in all aspects of business, including just being able to bounce ideas off of him. And he's got incredible boxing knowledge, has trained people, and even till today, we still work on a lot of the businesses together. And I'm doing about a dozen businesses in boxing.
Wow, man, how do you juggle them all? Jeez.
Again, it's a passion, and when it comes to businesses, I try and make everything work together. So I always had to hire designers to design the magazine and to do different projects that I was doing. So I just decided to come up with my own graphic design business.
Nice.
So we do posters, and we don't just do our media, but we have different projects that we do for like different small businesses as well.
Okay, so yeah, that works. I mean, you're already doing it, so you just change into a business. Makes perfect sense. Yeah, we
Yes,
spoke a bit
exactly.
about fighters, man. I can't even imagine, like, because I feel like you were in a time where there wasn't many media in boxing. So, getting interviews, was that a difficult thing back then compared to now?
It was very difficult because, like you said, like a lot of gyms didn't know how to treat media. I think the only person that was really doing media when I was coming up through the '90s was Richard Lewis, and
Okay,
Richard
Richard,
Lewis was
yeah.
yeah, Richard was coaching numerous places, and I know that when Richard was in Brampton, he would always reach out to the local newspapers. There was a writer named Frank Uzanis, and I know Richard would always do write ups and then send them to the media. So it made their job a little bit easier. And he would send photos and always let them know what's going on. So you used to see a lot of things happening in Brampton in the local paper, which was the Brampton Guardian. And
Right.
actually, sorry, John Mellick was good about that as well too. John Mellick Senior would always call the media, have the media over to his gym. Those two gentlemen were excellent about that.
Yeah. Yeah, John especially. I know my dad was over there with him for a bit at Champions. Yeah, he'd always have people in there taking pictures and stuff like that.